Reports from the eastern Congolese town of Goma speak of chaos after water and electricity supplies were cut following the reported capture of the area by the rebel M23 movement this morning. The capture of the town comes on the back of intensive fighting between the M23 and DR Congo's army FARDC since the start of the year. Goma, which is closer to the Rwanda border than the rest of DR Congo, is a vital trading and transport hub with over 1 million residents. Following news of the capture of Goma, Kenyan President William Ruto, who is also the chairperson of the East African Community, revealed that he would take action over the matter.
Escalating conflict and deteriorating situation in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo are a grave concern to the people and governments of East Africa. Noting the worsening humanitarian crisis exacerbated by ongoing military actions, including the closure of airspace in Goma, I call for the immediate and unconditional cessation of hostilities.
The M23 has taken control of vast swathes of mineral-rich eastern DR Congo since 2021, and the United Nations estimates more than 400,000 people have fled their homes in the past month. The United Nations accuses Rwanda of supporting the M23 rebels, but Kigali has denied the claims.
The Secretary General calls on the M23 to immediately cease its offensive, withdraw from all occupied areas, and abide by the 31st of July 2024 ceasefire agreement. The Secretary General also said that he is deeply troubled by the most recent report of the group of experts concerning the presence of Rwandan troops on Congolese soil and continued support to the M23.
Rwanda's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Ernest Rwamucho, on Sunday told United Nations Security Council officials that his country does not have a hand in the crisis in eastern DRC. This was during the UN Security Council's emergency meeting held in New York to address the escalation of violence in the eastern DRC.
The solution to this problem cannot be outsourced. It requires ownership and political will, and looking at the root cause of the conflict comprehensively and addressing them. Partners can support, but partners cannot fully own and resolve this problem.
We will be convening an extraordinary East African Community Summit within the next 48 hours to facilitate and to deliberate on this crisis and chart a way forward.
The M23 accused the DRC government of failing to obey the Luanda process that largely urged the warring sides to pursue a political process and dialogue in order to resolve their differences.
I call on the parties to the Luanda process on Eastern DRC and appeal specifically to my brothers, President Felix Tshisekedi and President Paul Kagame, both of whom I have had the occasion to speak to this evening, to heed the call for peace from the people of our region and the international community.
Meanwhile, NTV understands that the Ugandan army is on high alert to ensure that Uganda's territory remains peaceful even as the conflict in eastern DRC escalates. Local leaders want government to take necessary precautions in order to counter threats that may arise.
We share a border with DRC as Uganda, and anytime such a conflict can extend to our borders or inside our borders. So it is concerning. Of course, it also escalates the refugee crisis at our borders.
Daniel Kibet, NTV.